I think we have to talk about that one thing everyone's talking about, which is that game winner of Jayson Castro. Always going to be a tough call, but then that just goes to show what a tight matchup this all was.
Yeah, it was a great matchup. Both teams, I thought, showed a lot of resiliency. San Miguel was dominating the first half, and then TNT found their way back. And then the last, 2 minutes or so, they were up by 6, talking about TNT. San Miguel finds a way to tie it, and then, of course, the heroics of Jayson Castro. Just incredible. It's nice to have a guy like Castro, who even at this age has still shown how great he is. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, this conference against Magnolia, against Converge, and then now this shot against San Miguel.
Now, I also want to talk about, when we're talking about TNT, especially in last season's Philippine Cup, it was Mikey Williams all the way. Pero I think Game 1 was the first time that we actually saw all three players, Mikey, Roger, and Jayson, click. Kasi usually 1 of 3 or 2 of 3 lang, hindi sila nagsasabay-sabay.
That's a great point, but I think people forget just how good R.R. Pogoy is. I mean, he's one of the best two-way players in the whole PBA, especially in that shooting guard spot. I mean, he scored in every way.
Yeah.
You know, posting up, floaters, jump shots, I mean, falling down, getting up, shooting a 3, part of that big comeback for them. But he was great. I mean, it's impressive, and if he plays that way, then TNT will have a chance to really win this.
You know, people forget that he has the nickname of Pogdonovich for a reason. At yun nga, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc and 26 points are Pogoy. And a very quiet 26 points, it feels like.
Yeah.
Pero itong si Mikey Williams, he exploded in the third quarter, even after a relatively quiet first half and even a quiet fourth quarter. What do you make of what he's done?
I really think that he's the key for TNT. I mean, obviously you have Jayson Castro who can close out the game for you, Pogoy, to hit all those threes. But when you stop Mikey Williams, you kind of stop the TNT offense. And you could see it. That's why they were down in the first half. And then he wakes up in the third quarter, makes some tough shots too, got some shots in transition, open threes that helped his game, his confidence also. But, you know, when he's going, they're tough to beat. So he's the focal point. And you got to give credit to the guards of San Miguel because they're also making it tough for Mikey.
You think R.R. Pogoy and Mikey Williams could arguably be the best tandem in the league right now?
Debatable, but yeah, they have a good case, I think.
Okay. So, you listed down a couple of keys for both these teams going into, well, after the finals opener. So we're gonna go through a few of them. You said that you can fast break this. He can explain very quickly.
One-liners?
Oo nga, mga one-liners. So,
Okay.
subukan nga natin. Yung unang point niya, the importance of the point guard matchups.
Okay, because TNT has, pwede naman long sentence, di ba? TNT has Jayson Castro and Mikey Williams. And, you know, Ross and Enciso are great defenders, but they also need to help in the scoring because, you know, they can't just defend and be 4 and 5 without being a threat. So they have to find a way to also contribute because they're great players. Chris Ross is Finals MVP for a reason in the past, right?
Run-on sentence.
Run on. Hindi naman ito grammar.
Ito pa,
Oo nga eh.
yung next
Oo,
naman.
Ay, next mabilis lang.
The big guys of TNT always tasked to stop Junmar, but aside from that, key to winning is hitting their shots?
Yes, they have to because we just went through a 7-game series against San Miguel. That's what they're giving up. They're letting the big guys shoot, and if TNT's bigs will hit it, then that's the way to beat San Miguel.
Again, very simple. Less of a run-on sentence there for Coach
Paikli ng
Charles.
paikli yan, ha?
Paikli. Ito, finding ways to stop Junmar Fajardo.
Oh, enough said. How? 11 out of 12 siya, hindi nag-miss eh, di ba? For some reason, he's still finding ways to score. You gotta find a way to shut him down.
Okay, ito, I'll give you leeway here because I want to clarify on that. Kasi itong si Junmar Fajardo, in that first game, was guarded almost single coverage by Kelly Williams, times po Aaron from time to time. We don't normally see that kasi most teams normally throw doubles at him. Do we expect that to change considering yung stat line ni Junmar Fajardo in the first game?
I thought they mixed it up. There were times that they did send doubles, but when you play San Miguel, they're so smart. They know how to get Junmar in spots where your double can't come anymore. Like he's sealing off the weak side and stuff like those. And then they keep cutting guys just to make it hard. They're so used to playing off him. So it's a challenge, but you know what? They won. So, but you know, they're gonna mix things up for sure.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the supporting cast. Yung dating nag-champion na San Miguel team, it's all about the Death 5.
Yes.
But now, it's kind of like experience in the past, death right now.
Yeah, you know, I think with the San Miguel, Junmar's a given. CJ Perez is a given. But the other guys have been up and down. Sometimes you get great games from Marshall. Sometimes you get great games from Vic Manuel. But inconsistent. You have Jericho Cruz, you have Mo. They're so deep.
Yeah.
But they all don't click together for some reason. And I think they have to beat a team like TNT.
Yeah, it's always going to be tough kasi, syempre, as Denise mentioned, the constants of Junmar and the CJ. You have to look at other guys. Like you actually mentioned some of the players that you want to watch out for, looking forward to in the next game. For San Miguel, you mentioned Marshall Lassiter.
Yeah, I think Marshall's really the key because he's their best shooter by far. And, when he's on, they're a different team. And he hasn't been as consistent as he was in the past. Obviously, Marshall's my guy. I like Marshall a lot. So,
Yeah.
If he finds his stroke, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, because even in the last game, I believe it was Game 7 against you guys. He was the one who set the tone.
Two
In,
threes to start the game, right? You got to remind me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you hurting his feelings?
Three
How
threes in the
much-
first
okay,
quarter.
let's move on. Let's move on to the other side. You have
Okay.
Troy Rosario that can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think I picked Troy because, he struggled in the last 2 games of TNT. He's combined for 5 points in 2 games. And this is Troy Rosario. He was their lowest plus-minus, -11 in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy like Troy, he's got to do a better job. I know it's tough to guard the bigs of San Miguel, but they need him to do better offensively for them to win.
Is it because of the way they're set up, especially with most of the guards right now taking the bulk of the scoring, or do you feel that it's just him not living up to that moment in particular?
I think it's just the latter of what you said. He needs to find ways to make shots because he's been getting some looks and he has to be aggressive because he has the talent. Troy's a great player, but and he's a valuable piece of their team.
All right. So, Charles, that was short.
Sakto ah. Oh, sabi ko.
Galing talaga.